Look at them. Back at it again on a Tuesday. We're headed to the gym again a little earlier this morning, not a whole lot earlier, but I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour earlier than normally. My son's got a ENT appointment today, so we're going to try to get in and out of the gym. Come on, lady, you were there first. Good God. I'm driving, man. Ridiculous. That's what happens when you drive too much. You just become like angry towards a lot of people all the time because everybody sucks at driving except you. And I think that's the case a lot of times for a lot of people. They believe that. I know I sure do. Like these two chuckles in front of me who are, I'm just going to keep my opinion to myself. I guess it's the military. I don't really know. I guess it's the military in me whenever something like this happens and I get like all worked up about it. I don't know. In the military, you're just told to you get told to move with a purpose a lot, right? Like they're not necessarily rushing you. They're just trying to get you to understand urgency and to, get you to understand that what you have going on is not more important than what the mission is. And so like when you get called into the front of formation, you're running, you know, if you're at the back of formation and you get called to the front for whatever, an award for, you know, promotion, because the first sergeant wants to make an example out of you, either good or bad, you're running. You're not walking up there, you're on what you've got going on. Your little leisurely walk is not more important than everybody else standing in that formation. So you're getting up there, you're moving. And that's what gets taught is like move with a purpose, walk like you got somewhere to be. And I guess I've just brought that over from the military into my civilian life, and that's just like, dude, move with a purpose. So many people get behind the wheel of a car and just like completely just like check out. Just put the address in their GPS, and then they just sort of like go blank up here for the 30 minutes it takes for them to get to their destination. And I think those kinds of people need to have their licenses revoked, quite frankly. I'm a staunch believer that the person who is doing 20 miles an hour over the speed limit on the highway, weaving in and out of traffic, I'm a staunch believer that he is a better driver than you, or they are a better driver than you, I'll say. The amount of focus and attention it takes to drive a car like that, it's a lot, dude. And if you're the kind of person that just, sets the cruise control to the speed limit, plugs the GPS in, and then waits for the GPS to turn left ahead. Uh-huh. Like that's zombified driving, dude. Like you're not a good driver for that. Driving is a skill, and it takes more than just, zoning out for 45 minutes while you drive and listen to the GPS. Anyways, all that to say that I'm a staunch believer in like moving with a purpose and pretending like you have somewhere to be. Pretending like you've got someone waiting on you for something, right? Like you've got somewhere to go. Someone somewhere is waiting on you to do something. You have a purpose. You have a goal. You have a destination to arrive at. So like, I'm not telling you to drive recklessly. I'm not telling you to speed. I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm just saying that when you get behind the wheel of a car, be present. You know what I mean? Like act like it. Pay attention. Drive. Put the phone down and drive. I say as I'm like recording a video, but I'm very much aware of the road around me. In fact, the road is my primary focus right now, and it can make it a little hard to talk sometimes because I get focused on what's happening out there, and then I lose my train of thought. But I'd much rather have that happen than make this my primary focus and tune out what's happening out there and cause an accident. So I don't know, just my 2 cents on driving with a purpose, walking with a purpose. The people that, go to the grocery store or out in a public space and are just like putzing around, walking leisurely through things where it's like crowded and there's a bunch. Like, dude, know where you're going and go. We don't need the. This is not your. This is not personal leisure time, dude. Like, I go to the grocery store. I know what I'm there for. I know what I'm there for. I have a list. I go in. I check things off that list and I get out. I'm not in there browsing. I'm not in there, oh, this looks cool. I'm not in there doing all that. I go, I have a list. I check things off that list systematically, and then I leave. It takes me like 30 minutes. I'm not there for a good time. It's not my outing. It's not a social event. It's the grocery store. So just things like that. I don't know. I don't even remember how I got on this tangent, but basically, you should move with a purpose as well in your life, not just behind the wheel of a car, but in personal endeavors and professional endeavors. Like, move with a purpose. Pretend you have a goal out there. Pretend that you have some end result waiting on you to arrive, and work diligently towards that goal and that end result. And understand that it's okay to be content but never satisfied. It's all right to be content with where you're at. I'm very content with where I'm at. I love the life I live. I have pretty much no complaints. The complaints that I do have are all pretty minor things. They're small, nothing crazy. Like, I hate my relationship, or I hate my job, or you know anything like that. I have very small complaints. I'm not going to mention them on here because it's not what this is for. But work diligently to better yourself. I'm very content with my life, but I'm not satisfied. I know I'm capable of more. I know I am, and I understand that the process is a long one. That it's not going to happen overnight, and so just be okay with that timeline. Broaden your timeline, broaden your time horizon, and I think that you will find that when you do that, it'll teach you a lot more about patience. But I think you'll find that the goals that you want to reach, they'll come. They may not happen in 5 days. They may not happen in 5 days or anything crazy like that. But give it 5 months or five years. You'll be able to accomplish a lot if you work diligently towards a goal and a task. So that was a nice little like how I flipped that and segued into how that can apply to like your personal life and fitness goals and stuff. Yeah. So, anyways, enough about that. Move with a purpose. That's all I'm saying. Move with a purpose. Gym today, deload squats. My son has an ENT appointment at 1:30, and I am not really looking forward to that. I don't think my wife is either. They're probably going to have to scope his nose, and I just am prepared for like an epic meltdown or potentially some like sedatives that they're going to have to use on him. And though the man in me says, "Hey, that's just the way the world is. It's just part of what we have to do as a parents to ensure the health and safety of our child. We're just going to have to put our trust in this doctor and let them do their thing." The father in me is heartbroken at the thought of seeing my son like that under sedatives or upset. So it's should be a good time. Should be a good time. Hopefully they don't have to scope him. I'm really hoping that they don't, but there is a strong possibility because when I went to see an ENT about a year ago, that dude had a scope up my nose in like less than 10 minutes. So I'm kind of banking on the same experience. He's going to a different ENT, but still, I mean, an ENT, like that's what they do is in there. So it seems like it's kind of a given. That's why I'm going to the gym a little early today. See, it took me 9 minutes to circle back around to gym topic stuff. So I'm going to the gym right now. I'm about to pull in, and we're gonna do legs, dude. It's a deload leg week. Again, if I cannot hit or if I cannot record in the gym, understand you're not missing anything exciting. It's a set of 3 at 305. This is my top set on squats. Very, very easy top sets this week. So, and then I'm gonna do pause squats at like 230, I think. And I don't even know if I'm gonna do those. I may just skip that and go into some RDLs or some hip thrusts, and then do leg extensions and hamstring curls and call it a day. So it should be a pretty quick one. I'm trying to be back by about noon so that I can, maybe even a little before noon, so that I can eat some lunch, an early lunch, so that we can go to the doctor. Because when I normally eat lunch, like 12:30 to 1:30, somewhere in there, I will not be home. So got to get it in early today. So that's what we're here doing. I'm going to chug this pre-workout, and we're going to go get after it. See you inside. All right. No lifting recording today. Vibes were just off, one of those days. But man, the pump on the legs is not that good today. It's a little disappointing, not gonna lie. Sheesh. Could be a lot better, but you know what? For a quick 1 hour workout on legs on a deload week, we're gonna fucking take it. Looks good right now. Looks good on the camera. Looks good in the light. I'm sure when I get home though, it's gonna look like ass. I think that's all I got. I don't really know how to do the side pose or flex my hamstrings that well. How about this? Wanna hit this pose? Come hit chest with me. Come hit chest with me. Yeah. Let's see if I can. Back up a little. No, can't really tell. Yeah, whatever. All right. Yeah, like I said, vibes were off today for the recording in the gym. Kind of busy. Well, not kind of busy, but there were just people near me. Didn't really feel like recording a deload triple, so it was no. Like I said, remember, nothing amazing that you're missing out on. It was a set of 3 at 305, and then I did do my pause squats. It was 235. Did those beltless, because why not? I almost did the top set beltless, but decided not to. So thought I'd keep it consistent. In terms of just training a top set, I usually always have my belt on for. So I thought I'd just kind of keep it consistent today and put the belt on. So got it done. I did the whole workout today, actually. I did the RDLs, 3 sets at 8 at 245. Hamstring curls, seated, and then leg extensions. Knocked it all out, and then I still had a little bit of time to hit a quick pose session. My leg, I don't know, they just didn't seem. I haven't watched that video back yet, so maybe they look okay, but in the room, I don't know. They just never looked that pumped. I feel like I could have done better on the pump job today in terms of inducing the pump with leg extensions. That's what I always save my leg extensions for my last exercise of the workout, because I always go to failure on those. I'll take my last set to failure, or and then usually I'll do a myo set with it too, where I'll take it to failure, basically to failure, and then I'll stop and rest for 5 seconds, and then I'll just take another set straight to failure. But it's, you may get 20 reps on that last set, and then you rest 5 seconds. I mean, you may only get 6 more reps out of that, you know, but it's just a way to kind of induce a little bit more fatigue, get a little bit more out of the muscle. So I've been a big fan of doing that, and that's usually how I end my leg workouts, so that it helps facilitate that pump, and we leave the gym with some pumped quads, because who doesn't like a good leg pump, you know? Um, and I did that today. Just, I think the weight was just light enough because it was like RPE 6. You know, this is a deload week, so everything's backed way the hell off. So I just think it wasn't really, I don't know. Maybe that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. It's probably incorrect, but I don't really care. So yeah, yep. Now I'm on my way home. I've got to go. I think I have to make a call for work, and then I've got to. I'm gonna make some lunch, and then I'm going to head to the doctor with my wife and my son, and that's gonna be that. I'll come home, probably be 3:30, 4 o'clock before I get home, and then I may do a little bit of work later. I don't know, but I'll probably have to, just you know, given the circumstances. I still have some stuff I need to get through this week. Even though this is like my, I don't know what you want to call it. In fitness terms, we call this my rest week at work, where I just kind of do, you know, stuff ad hoc, and like, it's a lighter workload than most weeks. But if my employer is watching this, understand that I'm still doing plenty of work. This is just the week where I take a break from chicken bags, soup cups, reviewing all the other categories that I do, and then I, you know, just kind of catch up on things, organize stuff, review other things. So make no mistake, I still work, but this is a lighter workload week than normal, and I'm actually going to increase the workload this week because it's something that I've been incorporating recently as of like the start of the year. I've turned my rest week into probably the heaviest work week of my month. So, anyways, enough about that. Gonna go home. I don't really have much else to add to this video today. Not a lot coming to mind. I'm running tomorrow, and then this weekend I have a 5K race that I'm running in preparation for the 5K race that I'm running in 2 weeks. That's the actual race that I signed up for that sparked this whole running fiasco thing. It's a race at a brewery here in town. They do it every year, and you run a 5K, and then at the end of it, you get like 2 tacos, 3 beers, a finisher's medal, and like a shirt, I think. And so I've been doing it with my dad and my brother for, years now. It's just something fun to do every spring. And that is the race that I signed up for back in like October. And that's when I started like embarking on my little running journey here that led to a freaking High Rocks. And so that race is coming up in 2 weeks. So there's a race this weekend that serves as like a little warm-up race. You know, they have like 4 or 5 of these throughout the year. Started back in October. They have like one a month. And so I'm gonna do that this weekend, I think. I'm not signed up for it yet, but I think I'm gonna do that. And that also serves as a chance for me to do packet pickup. Like if you ever run in a race before, 5K, 10K, marathon, half, you know that you got to get a race packet that has like your bib number and things like that in it. So that's what I'm picking up this weekend. And I will also get some beer at that, I believe, as well as a taco or 2, maybe. So just be something to do Sunday morning before the family's awake, probably, because, you know, it's like, I think it starts at like 7 in the morning. So we'll see. Maybe I'll drag my wife and my kid along, and we'll all go run together. But yeah. In the meantime, dude, is that the chick from the gym? Oh my God, I see her. Does she live in this neighborhood? I see that lady at the gym all the time. I had no idea she lived over here. I mean, seems about right since, you know, we're like a block away from the gym. But anyways, that's all I got today. I'm going to run tomorrow. I'm doing intervals tomorrow and then that 5K this weekend. But we'll pick it back up on Thursday with Pump Day. Pump Day, baby. Pump Day. secondary bench, upper body day. So yeah, until then, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. We'll see you on Thursday.